back to the Krorän series here on the Lord Master channel. So the kingdom, or the Irukut Gligi of Jongar, is coming apart at the seams, one would think. Even though it's only the mountain range up here is what's separating this one, who only holds two areas still. Bishbalik and Yang. Hold on, let me try that again. Yangjibalik. Yeah. Because we fear that whenever he passes away, it's nice to see that. It's nice to know that he is practicing asceticism. And I can't find out why, because oh, there it is. Practicing asceticism. So he's adopted certain ascetic practices in order to live close to the religious ideals. Makes him more pious and all that, despite the fact that he is Manichaean. Although Manichaeans do asceticism at times, but it's not really one of their tenets. So I don't know what gives, but I can tell you this, that there are parts of Manichaeism that they did adopt it from, the goddamn, words are failing me. Adopted aspects of Buddhism into part of that faith. But anyways, so as of recently in this part of the series, we have finally expanded outside of our main homeland of Krorän. So, like typically we would be living all the provinces that is next to Lapnur, but now we've expanded a little more northwestward to Urabo. It had a formerly Uyghur name, but now since we've taken it over, it has been changed back to its proper Tocharian name. Despite the fact that it is in our culture to embrace everyone, we don't view with any negativity about foreigners at all, but we feel that it's right to retake all the lands that the people of our kind used to held. Because clearly you are living in our land, and I feel that it's about time for you to be off of that. You and your vassals. We want you out of traditional lands of the Kuchinya people. And also to bring Buddhism back here. And we say that is because we consider the Manichaeans hostile, and they consider us as evil. And so we have the right to defend ourselves and subsequently defeat those who did them wrong. One day, we would love to liberate Kushan, or Kucha, especially with the benefits it'll bring, such as the development. And sooner or later, when I become the province holder, more piety, diplomacy, and stewardship for the owner of these caves. And speaking of caves, there is another area in Tucson, which that in Biziklik, yeah, there's caves up there as well, which has a similar bonus for those who are the owner. But it's disabled right now because Buddhists are not there. It's controlled by Manichaeans. I do have a claim, and that is in Aksu, which is formerly known as Bharuka in our language. So in future, we will fight a war against the Karasha again. Where the heck is it? Aha, there it is. Yeah, this is the one. I'm keeping tabs on him because he's old, his health is poor, And I wait for the day of his passing. And the reason I say it is because we cannot declare war until 3 years later, but we hope that he'll pass away, then the truce is null and void, and we can start that war again. But until then, we have children to raise. I already assigned some of them to guardians. I already did that before I recorded this episode here. And so for this episode, for this one-eyed ruler, it would be in our best interest to, basically wait until the truce expires, make some money, and we'll use that said money while we have sent our Purohit to try to convert the faith of the county, despite it actually isn't too skilled about this, but since I went for scholarship focus, and I'm thinking we should go for this route. Yeah, your next 3 perks should be for this, since we're a bit of conversion intensive. Because we wish to see Buddhism restored to the northern lands of the Kushinian people. Those Kuchian people up there. Buddhism is already well established in the old Krorän lands, but now we want that to return to Kuchian lands. Yet another child. So that's going to be child number 10. I'm not going to try and beat my father's record. No, that's not my intention. But that reminds me regarding. Well, here's the thing. I can't assassinate him, despite like he is lower skilled with intrigue. But you just wait for him to pass. Yeah, that's my nephew over there. Which one day he'll rule. And same for my other nephew over there. Whenever they pass. Spreading our dynasty just a little bit. And in future will be noteworthy. And just make a little bit of money. That's it. Arśi-Kuči comes of age. For the longest time, I was hoping that good tillage would be enough to teach Arśi-Kuči the intricacies of warfare. I was naive. She only developed a basic understanding of the subject. She has learned the essentials of managing an army. I can only hope the rest will come of experience. So she's a tough soldier. But, hey, I'm a tough soldier too. We all struggle with education sometimes. We don't have the best of court tutors, but she tends to be of the nicer kind. Skill-wise, But I'm still voting for you as my heir. Despite the fact you will only inherit the Krorän Ytarimypoy. But you do have the fighting skills, especially when you inherit my armor and my spear, should my time come to pass. And I will not change my mind until all these children, at least most of them, even the youngest, all grow up, and whoever is the most skilled will have my vote. And then all these children will get to have whatever lands. But Arśi-Kuči will still be the designated heir, as I vote. And I can hold 2 more holdings. Aksu and Krorän. Those are what I only desire. No need to go to Krorän and Toksun yet. Right on time. So we had a transmission of faiths, and now we get to have envoys and explorers. Diplomacy per level of fame up a bit, and it adds a little more of the diplomatic range. And of course, for those who do not have, if you're playing as a culture that lives in the Overland Silk Road areas, be it from China to Mesopotamia, if you don't have the people of the Silk Road cultural tradition, you have to work your way up to get envoys explorers, so you can reinforce relations with Silk Road communities. That could be taken more than once in a lifetime. And unlocks the character interaction, presents skilled Silk Road entertainers to other rulers. So if you're of that culture that has it, it sounds like it isn't much, but we will work on getting Krorän networks. This is a big get for me, because not only the monthly income up, but also reinforced relations. The modifier of it will last twice as long, which means more time for potential bonuses and benefits. So that's why I say disinheriting children is frowned upon, but there are alternatives. Because we know that some of you are wondering, hey, if your daughter's going to inherit the duchy title, why not the counties? What about your sons? Well, there is an alternative, but they have to reach a certain age. They have to be at least 10 years old. Ask to take the vows. Like, for example, for Maya here, just an example, I'm not going to use that right now. So, if you become a monk, you may not inherit titles and may not marry. And if you wish, you could use a hook. But it's going to cost you a lot of piety, which I need a lot of. And we don't get enough of that these days. Even though I'm trying to be a bit more of a pious ruler than my father ever was, since my father was a sinner due to adultery. Oh, of course. The reason why there's a peasant rabble faction against me is because of the influx of eager beggars. That's the reason. It's because of that popular opinion down that the people are so riled up that they want to revolt against us, and that's going to lower the control in turn. As I wait outside by the burning chamber, each minute feels like a lifetime. Shiri's scream has ceased. With no infants crowded places, something is wrong. I can feel it in my bones. The door opens. The midwife's wretched expression confirms my fears. I'm so sorry, my lord. Lady Shiri, your daughter, they are both in nirvana now. Oh, what have we done to deserve this? My daughter was stillborn, and my love dies as well. That's the reason why the stress gain had jumped up big time. She was an ambitious, gregarious, brave woman who is... She gave birth to a few good, strong children. Oh, hell. Why must I do everything myself? How can I be expected ruler? Half of my servants are incapable of following orders, and the other half does not. Blush in particular has become unbearable as recent. I could barely stand to hear my chances. Incest. Such prattling. So, my brief moment of sadness just turns to anger. You are nothing but a rattling turtle. And I lose very little stress because of this. Well, that makes you my new primary wife. But at least you're one for intrigue, and I know we don't get along because you are mad at me, and I can understand. But unfortunately, we don't have any talented spy masters. That can be solved. You don't have the skills for it. I see. Now, think. Okay, I need to marry some woman who is very high as an intrigue skill and also has to be a certain age. Because preferably I would marry an older person, so I don't have too many children. And I guess I'll go marry this Bengali woman, who is quick-minded. Chance of having children is medium. Yeah. Again, just need that. It's almost like, I would say this, being of the Theravada faith. If you're either of that, or a Mahayana Buddhist, or even pick any pick any Islamic faith, that you have polygamous. It's like it has its drawbacks and its positives. And this is one of the positives. You can appoint women to be a spy master. And so therefore I'm giving her this task. Not supporting any schemes at the moment, but actually, I may find a task for you. Let's go to our neighbor down there. Just look for secrets. If there's anything that relates to the liege or one of his vassals, we'll get the blackmail and demand payment. Because it's what I like to do. Just find ways to get income. Or alternatively, spread the dynasty to other places. Particularly at duchies. Especially down in Tibet. It's easier. And since we have a much more diplomatic range, originally we had the range that reaches all the way to Yezd. That was the farthest you can have contact with. So does that mean, do we have contact in Kermanshah? Nope, too far. Okay, what about Dinabah? Too far. Esfahan? Too far. Tabaristan? Too far. Okay, it's still in the range that you can only go as far as Yezd. Just for a frame of reference. I'm considering abstain from vices during Vasa. Each year, all Theravadins, whether monastics or laity, observe the Vasa or the rain retreat, which lasts 3 months. Though not a monastic, I can go beyond the usual formalities. If I want, adopt more ascetic practices during Vasa to demonstrate my devotion to the Buddhist teachings. So I will forego various vices, potentially earning me different character modifiers and boons like piety. While Vasa is ongoing, I will have the abstaining from vices Vasa. In other words, I don't want to have children for this period of time, but it'll increase the piety big time. At the end of the Vasa, you can partake the Katina festival and donate to monastic for extra boons. I mean, I could spend some money. And me being a raffle person presents unique challenges and opportunities during Vasa. There's a tiny chance I even reform and become calm, the opposite, and it's a virtue. Yes! So, in context, in India during the rainy season, early Buddhist monastics stopped traveling to observe Vasa as to avoid harming crops, insects, or themselves in rough weather. Vasa is still done by Theravadins in Southeast Asia. During Vasa, some laity adopt more stringent lifestyles or even take monastic vows. It is followed by the joyous Katina festival. Non-Theravadids living in different climates have largely abandoned Vasa in this form, though they may have observed equivalent forms of retreats. This is, you can do it only every 10 years. It has to be between April to June before Vasa formally starts in July. It is May now, so this will be a spiritual, fulfilling experience. I mean, I have been faithful, and I wish to be more devoted. The Vasa or Rains retreat is almost here. Very soon, Theravada bhikkhus will retire to their monasteries to focus solely on meditation, study of the Theravada Buddhist scriptures, and more. Laity such as myself usually take this time to redouble our efforts and live virtuous and moral lives. However, this year I want to take it to another level. There are some laity who vow to adopt more ascetic practices, such as cutting down on meat and alcohol, and restraining from potential negative deeds such as sexual misconduct and harming other beings. I have taken such vows. Once Vasa begins, I'll abstain such vices. Hopefully, doing so will help me spiritually. I must prepare myself while I still have time. So, it's going to be my abstinence from vices. It'll begin in July, bearing in mind. I know some of the moments of anger has clouded my judgment. Even as I started to get old, got hit in the eye, and hey! The old man finally croaked. Literally 1 month has passed since it's like we gotta make preparations, and then a few days later, before this current present, and it's like, hey, we'd like you to know, my liege, that Ytarimypoy of Krorän has died of old age. And he's like, ah, excellent. We gotta start that next war immediately. Get Aksu. I saw the option to release my anger. But it'll cost you some prestige, but I think it would be better just to spend that bit of prestige on an ongoing, on a war, I should say. So let's take Aksu, even though it's a bit separated, or Krorän between it, but we'll get Kucha in future. So let's start. Go get him, Tiger. But remember, I am taking an abstinence, so it's up to you, Bush, even though you are reckless. You have the might of our army to defeat the enemy up there, and you gotta go all the way to take the eject. We ain't scared. Oh my goodness. This commander. Desert warrior, unyielding defender, forder, and flexible leader. Holy crud, that's very skilled. So, as the battle rages on up in the vicinity of Krorän and Boston. Today is the Asara Puja, or Dharma Day, and the first day of Vasa Dharma Day commemorates the anniversary of when Buddha set the wheel of Dharma in motion by giving his first sermon on the Four Noble Truths, that there is suffering, that suffering is caused by craving, that there is a state beyond suffering and craving, Nirvana. And finally, the way to Nirvana is through the Eightfold Path. Anyways, as usual, as I visit the local temple to pay my respect to the bhikkhus and listen to their sermons and engage in prayer. However, this year, I'll also be doing my best to abstain from various vices. Sure, it won't be too different from normal life to cut down on excesses. My aspiration is to succeed in this endeavor. So now I am officially abstaining from vices during Vasa. What will happen is being raffle presents unique challenges and opportunities during it, and a tiny chance that I'll reform and even become calm. It'll be hard, but I just want to be a better man. Because I think death of my lover changed me, hopefully. Meanwhile, oh gosh. Medic's killed. They killed a court physician. They killed our combat medic, you bastards! He was also the court tutor. We've won the battle, but at what cost? Meanwhile, listening to a sermon. Though the bhikkhus are mainly focused on meditation, chanting, and other religious practices during Vasa, some will also take time to sermons to laity such as myself when we visit to give them alms. Today I attend one such sermon by a famous bhikkhu who expounded on various topics related to the Buddhist teachings. Hearing such wise and thoughtful words really helped me in my attempts to restrain from engaging in vice and indulgence. It is good I attend this sermon. Oh, what happened, man? We need a new tutor and physician. You got severely injured. Well, I hope you have what it takes, wife. We've won the battle, but it ain't over yet. And it seems he's not leading his troops. If we can capture the capital, there's a chance we might drag him out so we don't have to occupy Aksu without bringing the control down. Not to mention there's the shortage of Tashi, which we might as well invite them in. So take the capital and we'll continue on from there. Holy warrior, excellent. Come on in. Right. A landed character. That's good. We can blackmail him and give me some money. Very much willing. Meanwhile, chanting. Today, as a part of Vasa, I am chanting various Theravada Buddhist scriptures myself. It is helping me focus, certainly, so that I may be able to better improve myself spiritually. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Yeah, I kind of remember the Sanskrit chant of the three jewels. I mean, I would utter it right now, but I need a little bit of practice because it's been months since I last heard it. But I do remember what it means exactly. Alright, now pay up. Because all that money is going to be spent to get a few more of the men over here. Because we need skilled fighters. After 3 long months, Vasa is over. This year, I took the extra step of adopting more ascetic practices. I try to abstain from various vices. Whether I succeeded or failed, it is important that I at least tried. There's always room for improvement that I may live a more virtuous and happy life in line with the teachings of the Buddha. The end of Vasa is marked by the Kathina festival. Traditionally, parades and ceremonies are held to celebrate the end of a monastic's retreat. It is also time for us landed to give gifts to bhikkhus to show our gratitude. Perhaps I should give a gift of my own to thank them for their effort, particularly for helping me abstain from vices this year. For the piety. I will donate new saffron robes, as is tradition. Still raffle, but it was an experience nonetheless. Now I must take command. And who are those prisoners you captured? Because we know some of them had to be ransomed just to get some more gold out of them. You're the man that killed him. And you were that very skilled commander. I would love to recruit you. Till the war's over, I would love to recruit you in our army. Because we need a very talented commander. Not to mention get all that 50 gold back after donating it to the Bekus. Remember, we're more interested in going the theologian route. That's just for county conversion reasons. So it'll be another 3 years to get this, another 3 years to get that, and then we'll stop with the learning and probably go back to, well, for something else entirely. Not sure. We got him. That's all I want. I don't want your money. We just want to end the war as soon as possible, so we can get Aksu without having to fight for it, while having to occupy it. And for the first time, we do hold a temple and a city, which they'll all be in Buddhist control. And this area has been renamed to Bharuka. Some of the control has been knocked down, but it'll start going a bit more up thanks to a few benefits of seneschal, serve the crown, and prayer halls that this temple has. So now this is our vassal. Even though you're way better skilled. You want a seat on the council, really? Oh, never mind. She got out of there. So, it's Sumata who takes it over. We just kicked that other person out of there. But I tell you what. I would love to invite you into my court. I'll pay for it. Plus, we got some of that money through looting that capital of theirs. Plus, there might be some use with you. Hell, you could be the new court physician. Forget about the old one. Alright. Sorry about this. And she hates me again. At least the popular opinion isn't too bad, but county corruption will occur. Peasant revolt will still happen, but just give it time. Also, who's the mayor? This man. Powerful member. Oh, good. Oh, I'm happy to know this. Finally, somebody who knows how to get the stewardship. I was just losing it, man. So more extra taxes. A club-footed man. Come on in. Keep looking. This is your brother, right? Pay up. And also, I'd like to recruit you over here because you got talent. Commanding talent, I should say. as far as skills concerned, depending on any situation. Not to mention, we have a shortage of tasks, so we will take any men we get in here. Again, it's still my sons that will inherit these lands. And I would like to, I'm thinking about disinheriting nearly all of my sons by making them become monks and all that. I'm walking the gardens with some of the lords at court when I notice my wife, Amritakala, approaching. I step aside to let her pass. To my great surprise, she blocks my path and kneels before me. Before I have time to properly process this turn of events, she begins to sing. I quickly recognize it tune. It is the famous Corinthian love ballad. I've heard it performed countless times, but never with such skill and passion. The intense emotions of the song are mirrored in Avrikala's gaze, which, set on me, she does not look away for a single heartbeat. Well, we had our issues, but you flatter me, my lady. About that. Ah, excellent. Oh, you're not gonna get that much anytime soon. Just give me it anyway. What's your education going to be? Stewardship related. I know, just a man. Actually, not exactly, but go for it. Is into learning. My son's also into learning. I know what I'm going to do with that money. Get these repaired. Repair the spear and repair the armor. The map. My spies inform me about a hunter causing a ruckus at a local tavern. The man's been spending large amounts of gold and bragging loudly about a great deal he struck with a fancy lady in pearls and silk. Apparently drew a map of the local plains for an unknown noblewoman. Spies think the lady must be scheming against me or one of my subjects. Hey, that idiot belongs in my dungeon. And give me the money too. Cheapskate. This is one more guy. There we go. Lord Asoke, my graceful paragon. My wife is kneeling in the dust before me, right hand above her heart. My only desire is to bring you honor and happiness. Pray tell me, how can I prove my love for you? What would I like to have? Bring me something unusual. An exotic orchard, perhaps? It's a possible outcome. She brings me a rare orchard. Ah, thank you very much. Little more learning means little more piety. And it is too late for me to learn a foreign language. I'm like my father, arrogant to try to learn another language. Although I tried to learn East Iranian, but last night I had a terrifying dream. Demons in the surface to Mara came and took me in some sort of room where all sorts of gory and horrifying spectacles could be seen. They tied me to some burning metal rod I'll just start torturing. We're about to start torturing me until I woke up, screaming. A terrifying experience. All in all, thank goodness it was just a dream, right? This is a lesson for me to be more of a faithful Theravada follower. I smile angrily. Were you born such a loathsome name, or did that develop later in life? Look on his face. Okay, giving you one more chance. Bearing in mind, this is the one that's romancing me. Maybe I ought to go visit the Crescent Lakers down the farm. Just to lower the stress. Because who knows what would happen to me next. I mean, you've seen this event before. So, I will be off to the temples. Again, it's from there. Because the damn eager beggars. The weakness that's plagued my daughter since her birth finally released hold on. Relief washes over me as I see Tati running around with the other children. Happy to know. That's my nephew. Oh, aren't you the heir to anything, or... What are you doing all the way down there? Oh, wait a minute, that's from my half-sister. Oh. Any skills in particular? He's brave. Right, it's none of my business, honestly. I think it would be ideal to go on a pilgrimage, but the minimum cost is 100 because here's the problem about being a Buddhist up in this region. Then all the holy sites are down there. Even the furthest one, way down in Lanka. But it gives you the largest amount of piety should you complete your pilgrimage. Almost done. Okay, send you somewhere else. How about the Donghuang? We haven't visited them in a while. To the winsome Asoke, okay. Like a burning stick, I wish only till I may know the depths of your love. You put Apollo to shame. How odd, yet it's charming. Thank you very much. Now, Bharuka. It'll take 3 years to get it under full control. $25, and then that'll be another. Oh, that's something which should be noted. Since we have Bharuka, which is technically digital part of Kashga, and it is near Saka territory, that you can attempt to participate in Khotan's annual procession, which it's not time yet. You have to do it at the beginning of the year, similar to how we stage animal fights to predict the harvest. So we do own a county in Greater Krorän. So this is the Greater Khotan. It's all in these areas, and Bharuka is one of them. We'll revisit that when we have time. I mean, the rest of that is just donations. Which donations means more piety. That's my plan. Get a lot of piety and use that piety to disinherit my sons, not by different means. That is, you need to be monks, and then we can get these sons out of there so they don't inherit everything. Unpleasant pleasantries. When I sent out invitations to the dance, I was looking forward to the evening of good company and frivolous fun. Instead, I find myself stuck in a dreadful conversation with my liege. Good evening, greets a familiar voice. Yantka Amritkala joins the conversation. She is an attentive listener, and Sonokone is fully on her, and I'm free to escape. I'm not staying a moment longer than I have to. Oh, bingo! The man himself. The man who has all the riches. Refused. He is a rakish man. And before his life ends, we're gonna let you know that hey, he's a bad guy. I sighed at the think of, damn, we could have gotten another big payment of 50 gold, but we ain't gonna get that now. Age of the world. I've been studying ancient religious texts and writing scholars now seem to agree that this age will end after 1,000 years. In the year of 1919? That calculation's a bit off. You must be predicting, obviously, the First World War. So by my calculations, we're less than a century away. Well, perhaps less. However, my Potterhood Samati urges me to keep it to myself. Leave it to the Sangha and avoid panic. What if your calculations are wrong? Well, a reasonable point, Sumati. Say that differently for once. Man, look at that income we're making. Imagine the income we would get when we take Kucha. I threaten a merchant over there. Okay, we'll do this for once. Participate in Khotan's annual procession. We will receive a random amount of piety. There is a chance I might be seen as having received the blessings of the 8 protectors of Khotan, or Havamna, as it's called down there. And receive a character modifier whose strength depends on my level of devotion, which isn't great, but I'm working on it. In Khotan's heyday as a center of Buddhism, an annual processional ceremony which has lasted 2 weeks was held in the springtime. involving everyone in the city, from commoners to the royal family. Sacred Buddhist images were placed on carriages and brought in from the city's outskirts every day. Each day's procession was organized by one of Khotan's major monasteries, the Gomante Monastery, the most important Khotanese monastery, and had the privilege of going on the first day. So again, you have to be a Buddhist. It has to be early in the year of January, February, March, or April. And the ruler is a Buddhist, which he is. Own the county in Greater Khotan, which is Bharuka there. So you either that or you completely control Havamna. And also you're not at war with him. So I look forward to this year's procession. Ever since Buddhism came to Havamna, Buddhist devotees living in the sea under the leadership of the city's monasteries would organize an annual procession of images lasting 14 days every year. Everyone from the grandest of royals to the lowliest of beggars will participate. Legend has it is that when the Buddha went to the present site of Havamna, he instructed 8 enlightened beings to watch over the city. It is said they would protect the city as long as its people remained true to the Buddha's teachings and practice them earnestly. Thus, Theravadins in the region, like myself, have a duty to partake in ceremonies like the annual procession to ensure the light of Buddhism will never be extinguished in these lands. This year, I made the inspiration to partake in this great event, to witness the glory that is Buddhist Havamna. It is time to prepare myself for the occasion. So yes, I'll be heading to there, being the first Tokharian to attend to there. Even though clearly this has seen its better days because of construction slowdown, and it was recently sacked by raiders. It has a Silk Road trading post, mud brick towers, and fruit orchards, as this is oasis land. And it's still developing. In fact, it's becoming soon to be the most developed territory of the entire Tarim Basin. And yes, this is the home of the jade mining settlement there, which the inhabitants of this small settlement near Khotan, scattered in the adjacent mountains and rivers, work hard to extract precious nephrite jade. This is where most of the jade comes from, and still to this day. His court is smelly though, so I wouldn't want to visit there. Look at me, I am much more pious than I am prestigious. Maya's Kondo Age. So, level 2 stewardship, lustful. So men better watch out. It's that peasant revolt that'll be coming soon. Again, I'm gonna get some party out of this. A landed vassal. He'll accept it, that means we're gonna get a payment. Because I wish to start saving up my money to go on a pilgrimage. That's my plan. Just want to become more devoted. Is it love? I can scarce remember what my life was like before she declared her feelings for me. Those days seemed so bleak, so dreary, with her by my side. Everything and anything suddenly seems possible. Wish I could go on like this forever, but deep down, must make my choice. Am I brave enough to give in to my feelings, or must shut my heart to her forever? Oh, I would hate to, do that, but one true love's kiss is all I could give. Almost time to start. I've arrived just in time. Avamna is all in a buzz. People are scurrying everywhere as they prepare for the annual procession for tomorrow, and the whole thing will begin. Though I am not part of the ruling elite of Avamna, I'm still recognized as a person of some importance. So I and other prominent guests are welcomed graciously by Simha, the ruler of Avamna. We all briefly discussed the schedule for tomorrow's event before we retire for the night. Tomorrow will be a great day, no doubt. The annual procession begins. The day we have been waiting for has arrived. The annual procession of images is underway in Avamna. Every day, for the next 2 weeks, one of the region's major 14 monasteries will bring holy images of the Buddha and other enlightened beings into the city on top of beautifully adorned carts. I stand together outside the city gates with other notables who have come for the occasion and gaze at the first procession. From Gomati, the greatest and most esteemed monastery in Avamna, arrives with great pomp and circumstance. At the head of the assembly is Simha, who, as a ruler of Avamna, has the formality to receive each procession as tradition. Once the cart arrives at the gate, we watch. Simha steps forward barefoot. He takes off his crown and prostrates to the images and makes offerings, before the rest of us follow suit. Afterwards, the women of Simha's household stand on the city gates to shower the carts with flowers as they enter the city. A heavenly sight. A wonderful start to the occasion, as you can see that I even bow to it. Intruder. Crash, where am I? What's going on? I appear in the darkness, my eyes adjusting. Siddhartha, must someone by my bedroom window. I scramble out of the bed, reaching for the dagger on the nightstand. The intruder grabs my arm, tugs, and I spin around, sinking the blade deep into her stomach. She looks at me for an endlessly long moment, her lips while moving a sound as she falls to the ground. Asoke, you alright? By the window stands none other than Yapka Maritakala, with blade in hand, ready to defend me. I throw myself into her arms, she holds me tight. We share one kiss, sweet like honey. The Silk Princess. I am paying a visit to one of the several major monasteries in Avamna during the annual procession of images. I note one of how it depicts the legend concerning the Silk Princess and the Mashi Monastery, another major monastery. The legend is a popular one. I've seen it deciphered in many monasteries. Thus I heard. Centuries ago, a Khotanese king wanted to learn the secret of making silk, but was tightly guarded by the Chinese authorities. When he married a Chinese princess, he convinced her to help him attain this goal. So she hid the mulberry seeds and silkworm eggs in her hair when she crossed the border. Before she arrived in the city of Khotan, she deposited the seeds and eggs at the site would later become the Mashi Monastery. Who knows if this legend is true, but it is certainly one that many locals find it interesting. So I have heard. I know about that story prior to this. It's kind of common knowledge if you were to study the history of the Silk Road. The annual procession ends. The last 14 days have gone by in a blur, but such is the nature of imperatives taught by the Buddha. Nothing can last forever. Normal life is returning to Avamna, as it were. The last of the procession is done. The hustle and bustle of Avamna has died down. This year's celebration was considered a good success. The hope, as always, is that the merit we gained from organizing and doing in these ceremonies will bring many great blessings, both to Avamna itself and to everyone who participated. I'm glad I could participate in the annual procession. After all, everybody over there is mainly Mahayana. I'm Theravada, but we're all Buddhists. We all come here together. So, Piety gain up, and the monthly piety up as well, and a bit of prestige just for taking it there. And here's your 50 piety, which depends on your level of devotion. So there you have it. There goes my seneschal, which he's been murdered by her. What the heck? But I cannot imprison her. I think she called it self-defense. She'll be claiming self-defense, one would think. Even though you just straight up murder a guy. We need a new seneschal. They're important for control growth. And it's up to my daughter Maya for this. Huh. Again, I plan on going on a pilgrimage soon. I just need to save up some more money, probably up to 400 or so. A shady discussion. I'm passing through the castle gardens from the morning walk, when a soft breeze carries the voices of Mitra and Dara Rex to my ear. And two courtiers are talking to each other in a secluded spot nearby, frequently glancing around to make sure nobody's listening. While it's hard for me to make out most of the words from a distance, it is clear that their discussion relates to the Ytarimypoy. I've done that. Just from up. That's so. Ytarimypoy is a Takari word for mare, I guess. So I may have to look it up in a dictionary. Well, I could get a bit closer. I managed to get closer, those two, without them noticing me. They seem to be discussing his private life and some unsavory habits of his. Oh, is that so? Hey. It's not much, but every little bit helps. Your secret is safe with me. If I wish to expose it. One second. Some of my accounts believe the job is theirs by the right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I'm often disappointed. After a long day, I'm complaining to Vijayavati. What she interrupts me. Let me do something about her husband. Feed her lessons might sharpen her wits. Sumati is in need of some guidance. Get your learning up. So that way you can use that learning skill to try to convert it a little faster. And finally, the culture has joined the early medieval era. But we're going to be mainly focusing on getting crop rotation, which we'll get it in 3 years' time. But it would take an eternity and a half to get hereditary rule. Oh, that is almost eternity and a half. It's 49 years. Just to get partition, which is a must-have for anyone. But focus on crop rotation. But I would really love to have city planning, which will give you the ability to build more cities and temples. Which is something that we totally lack in our homeland. My Purita Blush worked hard to convince our neighbor realms that peace treaties I entered with is flawed. Illegitimate and unfair to me. Truce ends already. Good. Resisting conversion. My brother Bimbisara, he's been assassinated. Oh my goodness, what's going on over here? Another landed character. Excellent. I'll go on a pilgrimage in the spring. You do not want to do it over the winter. You don't want to catch cold. So, I'm choosing the right time. And also we're putting a rally point out in the middle of a desert so we can deal with a peasant revolt that'll be coming very soon. Wanted to go faster. And then in future then we'll have the time it takes no longer increase if that faith's higher fervor than mine. Our fervor is 100. The Manichaean fervor is 100 as well. I will reinforce the Soko communities later. Just wait till spring. Love to get this. That'll be my next target, but I need to fabricate a claim to make it so. Unless his Chancellor is an incompetent goof. Already lost an eye at the age of 5. That's unfortunate for you. Today I poured Asoke. We've been burdened at your oppressive walls far too long. No more. We're done paying you taxes. Once your coffers drop and your larders are empty, you will wish you had treated us more fairly. Never! The peasant's lot is to serve their lord. I'll go take care of myself. Right before I was going to go on a pilgrimage. We just got to deal with this little mess. That's so. Except there's no money in that. Gotcha. It'll take a while to get it back up, but it'll do for the time being. Okay, now let's go on a pilgrimage officially. The holy sites are places in our world that are closest to the samsara. To see them for myself is to prove my dedication as a Theravadan. So choose a destination among your faith's holy sites. The further you travel, the more piety you will gain. Longer journeys are more expensive, aren't they all? It's time for me to set out on my journey to one of the holy places, but which one? Long pilgrimage? Or do you want to go farther? To Arandhapura? Oh, Daga. I thought it would cost a little more than that. Okay then. Anyways, let's go far. How about we go all the way down to Lanka in Anuradhapura. Go long. As I prepare for my journey, I know that I will travel safely under the protection of the samsara. My destination lies far from home, but in the service to Nirvana, even my own realm must wait. It is time to depart. Now it'll take you 4 years. It's going to be big time. For every week that passes, my fellowship grows ever smaller. Some have gone as far as before the need to return to home overtakes them. Others have met with less fortunate ends. Most worrying is the fact that my group of personal guards is thinning at an alarming rate. That fact alone shows what a treacherous journey can be. For 10 years. Increased levy sums. Okay. Either that or you're going to be this kind of person who You know what? Go for this. Monthly piety up a bit more. So this character safely traveled with almost no protection through foreign lands. Diplomacy up or devotion up. It's just to trade it. I've studied the Arśi-Kuči language for many moons. I personally penned this missive using the Arśi-Kuči script, a letter of friendship from a speaker of East Iranian. I wish for both our future diplomatic dealings to benefit for both of us greatly. Yeah, good to know. Holiness of the forest. Gautama Buddha taught us that all life is sacred. While sentient beings are the highest form of life, even the smallest blade of grass still deserves respect. As we pass through a simple forest clearing, it strikes me just how serene and quiet it is. No struggle, no strife, just simple peace enjoyed by the trees and shrubs. Now let us spend some time here and contemplate the universe. So this pilgrimage is taking a little bit longer than usual. This is that holy site they're talking about. Ran by the ruler himself. Yeah. I'm finally here, body and soul, at the great temple of Anuradha Buddha. As the Beck offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that had to happen for the samsara to bring me here, this moment of time. I have walked the holy path. I'm a pilgrim now, that I completed a pilgrimage. So now I'm a devoted servant. That'll make the clergy around here respect me a little more. Ooh, who's your lover? Some guy. Actually, let's blackmail him. And I'm gonna use that hook not for money. Never mind. We know who your lover is. My journey has been a long one. I've finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the Bhikkhus and Bhikkhunis treat me. I've undergone the journey of a holy man, and they insist that something has changed about me, whether I can see it for myself or not. It's good to be home. Now let's reinforce relations with the Silk Road community. Since you're a pious, intensive man, let's have contact with the Indians again. As a reminder, this is just for a bit of learning up. It's either for piety or to improve lifestyle experience. And bring in the Indian artisans. Yes, Now as I look at my sons here, as I said, okay, the minimum age is 10. The Krorän dynasty is known far and wide. It's noteworthy now. Eek, what else? What else I could spend my money on? Oh yes, donations. A few other things. As I step over the threshold to my courtier's office, I find her bent deeply over a book. It's translation of Hippocrates' Trochus. He says, if I were to follow these instructions, I am as likely to cure my patients as I am to kill them outright. You know what? Let me have a look. I help her translate the text and gain some of that learning lifestyle experience. Good. So I can get this soon. In 8 months' time. It'll be a little faster to convert. And once you're done converting, we need you to fabricate the claim for Kucha for the next war. So we can get this area as part of the national liberation wars against the Asoke. One second. The reclining Buddha. When visiting one of the Mongol caves near Donghuan, I come across a large and imposing figure of the reclining Buddha. Considered his statue's vibrant colors and great size, I can only say it's most impressive and amazing. I stand there in awe for a few moments admiring the artwork. I'll put my hands together and pray for a few minutes. And then suddenly, I'm insulting him again. Making him mad. Look at you. You got lover's pox. And I guess there is no female Tokharian word for mare. Here's an idea. It seems this has been the theme of the episode. It's all about faith and devotion. As a Theravada who wishes to accumulate for himself a great merit, I wish to donate funds to construct a new Buddhist religious site here. In doing so, I can honor the Buddha, spread the Dharma, and strengthen the Sangha. I will first choose whether the donation will go towards a stupa, temple, or monastery, which will net me different boons of piety, prestige, and renown, and a matching character modifier as well as a county modifier of the realm capital. Maybe we'll decide how large this religious site will be, which determines how strong the boons are and how large the donation is needed. The context is, ever since Buddhism was founded, elites have often patronized the construction of religious sites or the maintenance of existing ones as a way to accumulate great spiritual merit. So my realm capital does not have the county modifier indicating a sacred site was recently built there, and is not in a process of building a Buddhist religious site. Once again, for the 3 jewels. Ever since the days where the Lord Buddha walked the earth, Buddhists of all kinds, from the humblest commoners to the mightiest emperors, have funded the construction of various religious sites to pay homage to the Buddha, propagate the Dharma, and inspire the Sangha. I will do likewise, and it is my duty to set an example as a leader. Not to mention, I can accumulate a great merit for myself in doing so. As a first order of business, I should decide what kind of site to construct in the first place. A temple can benefit a local community as its center of worship. When the temple is finished about a year or 2, you will receive more prestige than piety compared to the other sites. A monastery could provide monastics a home where they could study the Dharma. When the monastery is finished about a year or 2 or so, you receive more piety than prestige compared to the other sites. The stupa can enhance the land's religious landscape and house valuable relics. When it's finished in a year or 2, you'll get equal amounts of piety and prestige. So, as a pious man, I will say a monastery. Buddhist monasteries are necessary if we are to develop the intellectual and spiritual capabilities of our bhikkhus. In such a location, they could study and expound on the Dharma and serve the lay community's spiritual needs. We have found an excellent location for the new monastery. Soon, this place will be filled with the chanting and recitation of prayers. Additionally, as I gather the resources and people to assist me in this endeavor, I need a clear plan on what to do. For example, I discussed with local bhikkhus whether the structure will be added to an existing religious complex or stand on its own somewhere else. I also need to choose how large this building will be. Once that's decided, the construction can start. You'll be fine. Bigger the bonus. It will be large in size. So, when the construction sacred site is complete in approximately 1 or 2 years, you will receive the boons listed below. You will gain 300 prestige. No, excuse me, 300 piety, 150 prestige. I will gain these 2 modifiers. Lifestyle experience. Well, why didn't I think of that? And Krorän here have a bit more development growth, which is something that's badly needed here. Because it is our home. And who knows what other things may occur during the construction of the monastery here. Now we're talking money. Oh yeah, you get very little payment during your job as seneschal. Okay, you got it under full control, but now you must get this back under control because we had a recent peasant revolt. Yeah, we kind of already knew that. 1 second. Big kingdom down there. So, I suggest you go over there. "35 days. Still doing fine. Right. Oh. Yeah, just remembered. Yeah. Sorry, I got a little jumpy. You've been in alliance with them for a while. What are you talking about? My sister just died from the complications of flagellation. My goodness. She was infirm, so she had to put herself out of her misery. That was my sister and sister-in-law. Oh, he's too far away to interact now. He has his own life now. But it makes a little difference, since we're both at the same thing regarding Manichaeism. So once you're done after those 3 years, if I'm still going to be around for 3 years, fabricate the claim there. Get it, and we'll fight for it, which will definitely happen in the next episode. Buddhism will return to these lands. Oh, what's going on over there? Civil war? A claim war. Oh, really? Well, they took it. Keep looking. Discovered crop rotation. As much as I would like to get hereditary rule to be the next one, but what I would want a lot more of is city planning, which will take 28 years. But I'm actually going to keep that scholarship focus on it just a little longer, just to get scientific and then switch the focus to something else. Dear Sartha, go outside. It's late. I'm talking to the tugging into a gripping treatise on classical grammar, just as I start giggling at some delightful snide of marginalia? How do you say that word? Left by the previous reader. My wife enters the room. Spineless man, you neglect everything but your studies. Reading indoors from alone of dusk till dawn. Get your head out of those dusty scrolls or don't come to my bed tonight. Well, my wife is a killer, so, I would say, yeah. That ain't gonna help. I will say I need not lead with you of the warm embrace of knowledge. That woman's gonna be the end of me. I just feel it. You know what? Just in case, come back home. Disrupt any possible scheme. We got a killer. We got a killer. That's what I was trying to say. I don't want to murder her, because her intrigue skill's too high. She's untouchable. My dear Purohita, I might have not loved you, yet I feel you're passing more equally than I thought possible. You were always there, my constant companion. Did I take you for granted? There are so many things left unsaid. I hope you find peace. I'm overwhelmed by stress again. You might be Yavko, but you're also a cocky knave. The unprovoked anger expressed by my daughter and heir, Arśi-Kuči, comes as a complete surprise. She's been under a lot of stress lately. But to behave like this, that even she struggles, it's calming. My goodness. I didn't know you have anger issues. Oh, life's never been easy, but it feels like the loss of my wife has pushed me over the edge. She was my partner in life, helping me to get through so many trials and tribulations. Though may have had disagreements, but facing life without her just feels daunting. How I ever manage without her? Not a good idea. That I can handle. What's the point in eating when my hole is in my heart? When a hole is in my heart. So I will become inappetite. Stress has ruined his appetite, causing him to skip meals and waste away. If you want to live like a true Buddhist, you gotta take up temperance. So why not? Improving relations here. No longer overwhelmed by stress. So I can shun food, which I'll become famished, which does have a bit of a moderate penalty, but if I feel that my time of my life is going to be over soon, that's when I will take it. Eep. Adultery is not fun. Regardless what you say about me, you are still going to be the heir. You got 2 years now. 23 months, so 3/4 done. Speed it up a little. Hey, since you got the crop rotation, that means you can invest in these new economic buildings. Yeah, we need a little more. Maya, give me some money. I'll have a few leftovers, so this is to definitely get this up. So the construction of more hamlets means that more peasants can be put to work in the fields. As we all know, more peasants means more taxes. That's why Krorän's going to be the economic center. And when we take Kucha, it'll be second most important. You are a defender. You know what? For once, we're actually going to help you. You got it. I'm joining to help you out. It's for the sake of my nephew. Here he comes of age. Tough soldier. And is a reaver. Come here, come here. We're here. And we will take that tribal holding off of them. But the real question is, when is that damn monastery gonna finish? Feels like it's been a year, but they say a year or two. Here it is. Buddhist religious site complete. I have just received news that the monastery which I ordered built a while back has finally been completed. Already, bhikkhus have taken residence within its walls. They'll be able to provide for the spiritual needs within its walls. They'll be able to provide the spiritual needs for the community. Needs of the community in no time and transfer the facility to the local center of learning. It is simply beautiful. Every little bit helps. I know it's going to get me stressed out, but we gotta develop it here. Actually, we're at war, but as soon as the war ends, I want this developed. We'll siege it down. They make some defenses here. Bringing in mercenaries. So does he. So this war will be over in no time. Alternative for you. In a dusty corner of the library, I found a tome, bound in leather and inscribed with weird symbols, partially hidden behind other books. It's old, but has obviously seen some recent use. As I read through it, I quickly come to the realization it deals with some unconventional knowledge. Heresy! I'll turn it into the bhikkhus. Piety is the most important thing around here. It is done. Better pay up. War's over. Let's get out of here. Almost done. It'll be 5 months, and then we'll start fabricating a claim again. Praise Siddhartha! I'm sitting at a local tavern enjoying a good drink, when a woman comes up to me. It seems she does not recognize me, but given I find her oddly enthusiastic demeanor amusing, I don't fear myself for now. Can I help you with something? I ask her. Yes, I'd like to talk about Siddhartha, she says. So come. Siddhartha speaks to us all, but we never listen. Go to the local temple, read a Buddha Vakana, praise Siddhartha. Why, I do that every day. Praise be to Siddhartha. I've been trying to change my ways for some time. fully under control, but I'm not investing my money into that yet. Three, two, one. Good. This is what you get when you get a priest around those. You just taxes up, only because it only has one temple holding, and that's in Bharuka over there. Now, let's fabricate the claim over the area that I want the most, but it'll take you another year. Over a year. And it'll be 3 months, so we'll end this episode very soon. If my health holds out, which I'm feeling fine still. Bodhpa and Kashmiri cultures. That's from there. Kashmiri Bodhpa. She created that. Let's go for scientific. Just for a bit more of that cultural fascination progress. Because every little bit helps. Because we're trying to go for city planning, so we will have the ability to build more cities and temples, so we can get more income and more development. And so therefore, that means more infrastructure, which is something that in our traditional lands severely lacks. It's only the more northern parts is where you'll find a bit more of that infrastructure, but even then, it's not true. All they got is an orchard up there. So, I have 9 children. And my sons, which I have about 3. Oh, you mean that temple down there. Right. Again, I just have this idea to make them take the vows, but it's been gonna cost me a lot of piety, which I think I will do that in the next episode. That I feel that I want a female ruler to rule these lands. No sons here. It's just to try to make it manageable, so, I mean, when you're a woman, it'll eliminate the ability to have secondary spouses. But it all depends on who's the most skilled of the female rulers. Well, female rulers. Of the female heir, potentially, that I'll cast my vote on. So we will be dealing on the topic of succession in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.